Gems podcast. This is your favorite sister here, Stephanie.
And this is your girl, Kedna.
So we're doing another episode of Drink and Talk. Go ahead and pour yourself a glass of wine or a glass of champagne or some liquor, whatever it is that you want to drink up with us during this talk tonight. Go ahead and pour yourself some of that. We're going to give you 60 seconds, but not really. Okay.
Come on, guys, get your glass. And let's toast.
All right, so 60 seconds. I hope you have your glass of wine or whatever it is that you're drinking with us. If not, you still have some time to get it, because now we are about to introduce what we're going to be talking about, and then we're going to dive in. So today we are going to be talking about emotional intelligence.
Yeah, definitely. And we're pretty much just going to kind of like, I want to say go on a rant, because we're not necessarily attacking it from a specific way of looking at it, but we're just going to kind of talk about emotional intelligence and what that means to us and the people around us, and how emotional intelligence had an impact on our lives individually and from outside experiences. And like I said, we're just going to go and flow and just talk. We're already feeling good, as you guys can tell. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate that.
Yes. So Kedna, what does emotional intelligence mean to you? What does that mean to you?
Okay. So what emotional intelligence means to me is pretty much getting involved with yourself and unifying yourself, and not allowing your emotions to become a different entity. Not allowing your emotions to necessarily control you, but instead you have a control of your emotions, meaning that you know to the core what your emotions are and how you react when you're feeling specific emotions, and knowing how to basically navigate in this world with the imperative information of knowing how your personal emotions affect you and affect the people around you, and getting that under control.
I have to actually really agree with you. I feel like emotional intelligence means being aware of oneself, really. Being aware of your emotions, being aware how you're feeling and why you're feeling those emotions, and being aware of your triggers. Just knowing what triggers you and how you feel at different moments of the day. Being aware of what emotion you're portraying during the day, your facial expressions, all of that, I feel like falls under emotional intelligence.
I agree. I certainly feel like that once you are emotionally intelligent, you're living intentionally, because there is no intentions without unification, without understanding who you are as an authentic person. So just identifying your emotions and how you feel, and your triggers as well. What are your triggers? What are your trauma centers? And getting back into that center, and basically kind of like unwinding or untying those triggers and all of those bundled up, impacts that you've had in your life, and what does that mean to you and other people around you, and basically just a base knowledge of who you are emotionally.
Yeah, and even understanding who other people are emotionally. Emotionally intelligence, I don't feel like is only pertaining to you and yourself, but also those around you, the people around you, the people that you care about, like being in tune to how they may be feeling about something, specific, just, and being considerate. I feel like as well, like to be emotionally intelligent, you have to put yourself in other people's perspective and truly understand how that feels and how they feel in a specific situation.
I'm really glad you brought that up, because I feel like that's something that's very important. And I believe a lot of gurus as well, when they talk about emotional intelligence, they don't really talk about other people. They talk about just unfolding that within oneself. Emotional intelligence is a different type of pure consciousness in this lifetime. So being able to not only interpret and identify your emotions, but being able to do that around with the people that you love and know and that are around you, because our emotions impact each other is what I'm trying to say. So being in tune and aware is so important, and that's not just you, because we all know that we're interconnected.
We are.
Yeah, so that was a good point.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go ahead and begin, and kind of clarify on some ways that help me identify my emotions and get a clarification on the individual identities these emotions carry within myself, and trying to just pack them into one. Just understanding that I am just that one, and my emotions doesn't have to be outside of me. So a backstory, I want to say I am a pretty emotional person. My sister is too.
Yes.
We're both pretty emotional. I'm not sure if it's because how we were raised, and maybe specific experiences we've had together as children. But I consider myself to be a hypersensitive person.
Yes, me too.
And I could say from my personal experiences, all of my life, I've always felt so emotionally in tuned to things and to people.
So you think hypersensitive people are people who are really in tune with their emotions?
Yeah,
because some people don't see it that way.
Yeah.
That's why I ask. Oh,
yeah, I definitely believe, and as I myself, and from the research I've done, and from, I guess kind of like a hypothesis or a theory, I feel like hypersensitive people are very in tune to their environment. Because if you're not in tune and you're unaware, how can you be hypersensitive?
That's true. That's very
Hyper
true.
means above. So we're above the norm of sensitivity. I've always felt so connected to individuals and to life itself.
Will you say that hypersensitive people are empaths as well?
Empath?
Yes. Because a lot of the stuff that you've stated, because I've never really done that much research on hypersensitive people, I'm not gonna lie. I did hear of the word before, and I did a little bit of research, and I came to the conclusion that I am also hypersensitive, but I never really dug deeply into it. But one subject that I have dug deeper into are empaths, and a lot of the things that you said, like that ties in with hypersensitive people, ties in with like empaths.
I'm not an expert on this, but just from personal, so that's just a disclaimer, but just from personal experiences. And that was a beautiful question, by the way. Like, I really appreciate that question. In my opinion, yes and no. I believe an empath could be also a hypersensitive person, just like a hypersensitive person could be an empath.
So do you believe an empath could not be hypersensitive?
Yes. And the reason I believe that is because I truly do feel an empath is a trait that you choose. It's not one of those traits that you can pick up. I don't think someone can pick up being an empath.
I think you're born with it.
Yeah, but in a sense, it's chosen. You're choosing, because a lot of the traits that we're technically quote unquote born with, we have to exercise it. It won't stick if we don't exercise it.
I don't feel like empaths know that they're empaths. Like, I understand what you're saying, like it's a trait that you have to exercise just like because you're born with it, but I feel like there are certain traits that kind of just naturally exercise themselves because you can't help but to exercise it, especially if it's something that you feel.
Yeah. Oh, that was good. That makes it tricky. That kind of makes it tricky for me, and I would actually have to sit down and think about that personally,
Yeah.
But I agree with that point. I think that's a very good point to make. Just like hypersensitivity, but then again, everything in a sense, although you're saying that it's something that you naturally feel and something that is naturally there, but in a form you're still exercising that thing.
Yeah, but not on
You get
purpose.
what I'm saying? The reason why I say this is because, for example, someone could keep getting screwed over, right? Because they're a very nice person. The moment they're aware, okay, I'm getting screwed over because I'm a really nice person, they could decide to stop exercising it and stop being nice, stop being a nicer person. They're still going to be a nice person because it's naturally there. But you can stop exercising something in a way where you're more intentional and you know how to use it for the correct people or the correct situation to say. So in that case, that makes it a choice. Like, you choose who you want to be empathic to, or who you want to be nice to, or who you want to be mean, or whatever the case may be.
I don't think empaths can choose who they can be empathic to, because empaths, they pick up on other people's emotions and then they feel that emotions themselves.
Yeah, naturally.
So it's like, it's not, I don't feel like it's something they can just be like, oh, I'm just gonna block it off, I can't do it anymore. Like, let's say I'm talking to you, and I mean, I'm not you.
Yeah.
I can't feel exactly what you feel, but if you're telling me something that you went through and it hurts you so bad, like me, I know I'm an empath, so like I'll pick up on that, and girl, I will cry with you. I will sit here and like boo-hoo cry, because it's like I can literally feel what you're feeling, because I care about you. I think it's like, and the deeper you care about somebody, the more you can feel, the deeper you feel that emotion like with them.
You know what? I'm going to say I'm on both sides of the spectrum. The reason why is because I completely get that, because I felt like that before. Literally, I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. One day I was at work, and this is when COVID first started. And there were people you remember when people were getting stuck places because no one could take a flight and go back home?
Yeah.
So I had somebody here, and I was working at a store, and the boy started crying. He was like, oh my God, like, and this was around spring break time. He was like, I'm stuck here, I can't go back home.
Wow.
Like, what's gonna happen? And then like he started breaking down crying, and I'm at work, and I started crying with him. I don't know this guy, I don't know who he is, but like I felt that on
that pain.
Yeah, that pain on another level.
Yeah.
Why I'm going to go back to what I said is because, in a sense, you're going to always feel that way. You're going to always feel connected to people on a different level,
because we're all connected at the end of the day.
You know how you know how you have boundaries, right?
Right.
But I feel like you can have boundaries with those specific traits of yours. Like you could be like, hey, like I understand where you're coming from, in a sense, like having a self-talk, but no. Like for example, like when I was in toxic relationships, yeah, I was empathic, and let's say the person's crying because they don't want me to leave, or they said they're going to kill themselves. I had to stop that and put myself first. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So,
yeah.
hold on, there's something in my eye. Yeah, so that's why I go back to saying how I feel like it's something that can be trained. So you can either stop exercising it and putting a pause, or you can control it and use it how you want it to be used.
I get that.
Okay guys, well that's actually the end for this. We're going to continue this conversation on another part 2 video. This is part 1. But please give us your feedback, leave a comment, let us know what you think about this topic, how you feel about it, because as you can see, we both feel pretty deeply about this topic as hypersensitive people and as very empathic people who are in tune with their emotions. So definitely let us know if you want to hear more, or if you want a part 2, guys. We want you guys to put a whole bunch of 2s in the comment section, guys. 2. Let's go. Okay guys, well thank you for tuning in, and see you next time on Xclusive Gems podcast. Bye guys.